You seen the Riot that raided the museum in the Netherlands for Pokemon cards? Are you talking about the Van Gogh thing at the Van Gogh Museum for Pokemon cards? Because I did see this. It's not really a riot. To call this a riot is using a very generous term. This is more like a nerdy scuffle. Where's the footage? Oh my god. Why is it just not coming up with like the best articles? It's just like the worst ones. Thanks to the membership. Arya and Unknown. There it is. So I guess they were doing some kind of Pokemon card giveaway at the Van Gogh Museum, and this is how it went, unsurprisingly. So just a bunch of people crawling over themselves like it's a football dog pile for a fumble, just to get their grubby little hands on the Pokemon items in order to resell them online. I saw a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, I saw a few scalpers that were upset that they keep getting called scalpers because they prefer the term reseller, which had me giggling. Like, they really think what they do isn't scummy. And it was kind of adorable to live with that level of delusion. Yeah. I've seen pretty much all of that drama, Elena. And I'm very familiar, Jacob. I have not seen his new one yet, Joey. Good evening, Fave. Thanks for the membership, brah. People do the same thing with collectibles. Well, people do it for actually everything ever. It's just Pokemon's the hottest commodity to scalp. Because there's always going to be a market to resell it, so... They get their hands on everything. You guys remember when they were doing the Oreo Pokemon collab? And there were people buying and selling the Mew Oreos? Shameless. Thanks for the membership, Robert, and the big 50 pand. I did not hear about that, Pand. That is embarrassingly awful. 2 million trees dumped at Fort Lauderdale in an attempt to support coral reef growth. Oh, tires, not trees. I don't know why I read trees. Tires. The tires ended up killing off the native coral, and the kicker is it was supported by the scientists. Super unlucky. Rest in peace, coral reefs. You see the F1 driver Max Verstappen might face legal trouble for a leaked vid of him speeding in Monaco in an Aston Martin. I did not, but thanks for that big 20, Breezy. I've only recently been trying to get into F1 because all of my friends are. And yeah, I'm very familiar with Jack's films. No worries at all, Dylan. Appreciate that. How the fuck would tires help coral? I think the idea is if you just introduce some shit like, I guess tires isn't a good example, but introduce some shit to the ocean, eventually it can help support coral reef. I remember Australia did something like that briefly for the Great Barrier Reef. At least I think it was Australia, because they have the Great Barrier Reef. Like, sometimes trash can end up being pretty decent if it's, like, controlled. Not, like, polluting, but if you, like, plan to use it to, like, help the coral somehow. I don't exactly know how it works, but I've seen that done before over the years. Shipwrecks, I think, was a big one. That was something I remember a few people mentioning. Like, when a shipwreck happens, it can sometimes be good, because then it'll, like, support coral growth somehow. So not exactly trash. Why'd you say Monaco like that? Is that not how you say it? No, everyone hates Scalpers. Scalpers is like one of the very few things that everyone unanimously hates together. The only people that don't hate Scalpers are themselves. It's one of the few things everyone agrees on, that Scalpers suck ass. Always has been that way. Thanks for the membership, Peter. I don't know if I'll play it or not, Hornet, but yeah. Maybe. I do like Paper Mario. I've never even heard that name before, Matt. I'll look him up. Oh, this is that guy. What do you mean? This guy was all over the place. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen this. I forgot his name, though. This is the zoologist that raped and did a lot of other horrible things to a ton of animals under his care. Yeah, it's this guy. What do you mean no one's talking about him? This was everywhere a couple of days ago. Yeah, just a legitimately evil villain. And I can assure you he will probably get the punishment he deserves. I don't think this is going to go unpunished. You should probably just play it safe, Kevin, and get the fuck out of there. You probably don't want to play around with carbon monoxide. If the alarm's going off, it's probably a pretty good indication to just leave. What's the point in even rolling the dice on whether or not it's just the batteries being dead? The fuck is the Roblox myth community? You ever hear about the car chase that ended up with a mom beating up the guy in the stolen car? That sounds familiar. How old is it? Because that definitely does sound familiar. I never search it up, Breezy. People just send it to me. I wouldn't bother looking that up. What do you mean, what's my take on the Yandere dev situation? There's not a take on it. The guy's a degenerate fucking weirdo. There's no take. He is objectively a bad, weird loser. Speaking sexually with underage children in his Discord and shit. You did just remind me, though. I saw a new DMs from him that leaked. I guess allegedly. And these were some wackier ones that I'd never seen before.